Hi and welcome to Twitterati for week 8 of 2013.
I'm at Phil Campbell.
I'm Caroline at PCM Creative.
Nice.
And this is Twitterati. And this week, I've been seeing a lot of event Twitter accounts that are detached from any kind of personalised Twitter.
Okay.
So, Festival of Light, let's say, or this is a hypothetical event. You join up to it because you know the event's coming, if it's going to be in your local area, and you know that it's in maybe September 2013, and you sign up and you follow the updates. And then as the event goes on, you might get a few, watch that on the day, and then there'll be a hashtag that gets used. But then after the event finishes, the events team are off doing another project. What happens to those Twitter audience that are left kind of hanging around an event that they've already finished?
Well, I think it just speaks volume for what people think Twitter is.
Yeah.
I think people think it's just a push tool that you just go, blah. I think people just treat it like a newspaper ad.
And I think in the days when the value of meeting a person was to get their email address so they could give you promotion, I think with Twitter it's much more about the people. How can you get them to go to other events, and how do you talk to them? And I think there's a huge missed opportunity.
I think people. I don't know why people don't understand that the legacy of consistency is what brings people back to a venue. So, like for instance, last night I went to a cocktail bar called Tilt, and all it does is cocktails. It doesn't do any draft beers or anything like that. And it's obviously built up a reputation as a good place to have a cocktail. So in some ways, if you're working for the council in a certain team in the council, it's very good that you're setting up a separate Twitter account, giving that an identity. But if you're not creating a legacy of engagement before, during, and after, then you're really just hoping for the best that people are going to turn up.
I mean, if anything, a Twitter account, the profile of an event Twitter account or a business Twitter account has to include the @name of the real person who's tweeting, if they have an account. And also, most definitely, the website of the event. And then when you finish your event, make sure that that link goes to a page on that website which tells them what other events you're doing, where they can go to continually engage with you. Because that as a legacy, but to start with, just making it known that it's someone that's already in your network. Because I have loads of events, and I imagine there's some of them that are all created by the same person. But I don't really know who I'm talking to, so I never tweet at them.
Right.
So.
Right. I have lots of Twitter accounts, to be honest. And I have lots of Twitter accounts because I like to use the web like that. If it's for an event or a business, I think, yes, you definitely need to be telling people who it is.
But they're separate identities as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I personally use the different accounts that I have, and I know who those audiences are, and if I think they'll be appropriate, I might follow them from different accounts, so there is an activity.
I mean, if people are getting concerned about the engagement on Twitter, it's because the engagement 2 or 3 years ago was actually quite high, because people weren't just using it as a, come and look at my stuff, come and look at my stuff. They were actually chatting back to people. I mean, case in point, Gary Vaynerchuk, he was using search.twitter to find people who were talking about wine, and then he'd get back and talk to them. But if you're running an account that doesn't actually, instead of asking for stuff all the time, you should be providing people with a fully rounded set of information from that Twitter account. Not just hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag that. I see so many businesses and events that are just broadcasting and are not talking. It's really, we're probably running out of shows for Twitterati, because Twitter is actually, in my mind, slowly dying because of the sheer amount of white noise on there for me. That's after 6 years of using it. So
seriously thinking of how I can split my following down so I can pay them more attention, but it does mean that I've got a lot of event accounts for festivals and shows that don't feel very personal, so I'm going to be looking to just follow the ones I want to follow from another account like the PCM project, which, although it's monitored, it isn't a personal conversation.
I'm hoping in some ways that Twitter sees all these things that happen with Twitter, because they're going through a massive problem at the moment, that a lot of the underground Anonymous and all these other hacker groups, they're all having a go at Twitter and Apple and all these other places. So where's version 2 of Twitter? We've seen it. We've seen the front end of Twitter change, but I think it's about time that we had a different version of Twitter that sort of addressed these issues, to be honest.
Well, I think again, that's another topic for this week. If there's any shows that you would like to have particular topics on, so if you've got a Twitter theme that you'd like us to discuss, do get in touch with us. Do follow the Seller 54 on Google+. That's where we're testing out at the moment, which is going really nicely.
Yeah.
Seller54.tv for the shows. Check out the shows, subscribe, and see you again next week.